Friday spread lines here on a Good Friday. It's the early line. It's the SportsGrid Network. It's Donnie right side. It's Joe Raineri. A lot of afternoon baseball games because some teams still, Joe, haven't had their opening days at home. Well, that's going to change today. The Miami Marlins on the road and playing damn good baseball, taking on the New York Yankees, playing damn good baseball right now. Perez versus Warren, a heavy favorite for those Yankees, now up to minus 178 to minus one, looks like 85 at most outlets here, and a total listed at 8. The Bronx is burning today with opening day, Joe. Give me a spread line today for Marlins-Yanks.
Yeah, interesting. We actually saw some overnight under money come in, Donnie. So I don't know if that's a weather issue or what's going on there, because I know you've got two pitchers here. Will Warren, who's still, he has his moments, and then he has, a lot more, oh boy, is that another home run kind of moment there. But nobody has got crazier home road splits a year ago than Yuri Perez did. He was great at Marlins Park. He was not good on the road, Donnie. In fact, he was terrible on the road. Now he's got to go to Yankee Stadium. Like you said, Yankees are playing some tremendous baseball. I thought this would be a little bit higher if we're not lying. I thought this would be closer to $2 here, Donnie. But the Marlins have been playing some good baseball here.
Sure.
But the Yankees at home afternoon, kind of tough not to look their way here at this point.
Yeah, about 60-degree temperatures, Joe. Light wind blowing out to left field. Can it change for Aaron Judge hitting $125 on the season? Still the MVP favorite. Maybe gets on track today, but a good game setting up there between Miami and New York here. Let's go up just a couple hundred miles north. Why? San Diego going to take on those Boston Red Sox. King versus Gray. Take a look at this line, Joe. Overnight around a minus 115 price. That's risen slightly here in Boston's favor. You see the graphic at a minus 124 price and a total listed at 8.5. King versus Gray. Boston gets to stay in the sun. Similar temperatures to New York. What's your spread line here?
Yeah, well, I mean, Boston better figure something out, Donnie, because maybe it's a little home cooking that they need, but it's not like they're rolling out their ace. They did that with Crochet and still got lit up there and couldn't win that game against Houston. So now they're going to try against the Padres, who might be a good thing for them to get away a little bit. Maybe they can score a few more runs here. But listen, Boston, that lineup is much better than they have put forward here. After that opening win in game one against, they 3-0, it was a shutout, and everybody thought everything's right with the world with Boston. No, 4 straight losses. Now they go home. Michael King, both of these pitchers I don't trust. It's very hard for me to look at anything other than an over, though, in this game, Donnie, because I don't trust either. The bullpens are good, but I don't trust either starter, so it would look first 5 over for me in this game.
One thing I don't remember in my life, Joe, is my call up to the major leagues here to get my first start and have some fun. It wasn't in hockey, it wasn't in football, it wasn't in basketball, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are bringing up one of the best young prospects in Major League Baseball today on a Friday. Connor Griff expected to be called up by the Pirates ahead of their home opener on Friday. That's how you do it here. The interesting part was, though, Joe, I think they were waiting to bring him up because they wanted him to sign one of those team-friendly, we're going to buy out your arbitration years. If you get really good, it's a bargain. If not, it won't hurt us that bad. They weren't able to come to an agreement there, but he is up here and ready to go.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, again, Donnie, were waiting, hoping that he would have started anyway the season up on the roster here. But hey, listen, we're a week in, and this is what, for some reason, teams do. It's kind of the stupidest thing that we see year after year. But, I mean, listen, he does strike out a lot, but it looks like if he's not striking out, he is absolutely mashing the ball. It's a market worth keeping a look at, Donnie. We'll talk more about it on PME, but I'm telling you, this kid at this price, there's some decent rookie of the years, but I don't know that anybody's got the kind of power that this kid does. And if they're going to keep him up and play him, he's certainly going to get a lot of eyeballs because of somebody who pitches on that team. Let's just say that.
Isn't that great? Like the contract, like restraints, like we're going to bring you up in week 2 of the season. We just don't think you're ready for game. Major League Baseball's got so many funny little intricacies where we don't want to pay. We'll bring you up on opening day. Your time won't start enough in time. Enough of the madness. At least that kid's up in the major leagues, but he should have been there on opening day, people. Let's be honest. The Yankee starters, Joe, have allowed just 2 earned runs, which is a .53 ERA through the first 6 games of the season. Wheeling and dealing in New York.
They are good, Donnie. I mean, and listen, the best is yet to come, right? I mean, they still got They still got a couple of guys they're planning on meeting them here right around that June, July era. So on time frame. I mean, they got Cole, they got Rodon still coming back here, but so far early returns, very good. And they're staying healthy. And it's nice to see that Devin Williams is not being called to blow games late. So yeah, it's a good time here for New York.
Motto of consistencies, Joe, that shows how good an organization is from top to bottom, from their major league players all the way through they bring up from their minor league system. Did you know the Los Angeles Dodgers haven't had back-to-back losing seasons since 86, 87? That's fantastic. But then you take a look at the St. Louis Cardinals. 1958, 1959, the last time they had back-to-back losing seasons here. See what they can do this year, Joe. That's a pretty impressive feat to say, you know, fan base, you got something to cheer for just about every damn year.
Yeah, they do. And I think, Donnie, I mean, talk about the epitome of consistent, right? It's just it's a great baseball town, one of the baseball town. Anybody that's been to St. Louis there, I mean, they love their baseball. Sorry, Blues fans, but they love their Cardinals. And that organization has done it right for decades, Donnie. And that's why even on some down years, really they're not like Colorado Rockies down. Like even the down years don't last that long, but my goodness, they are certainly the opinion. I don't know why other teams don't follow. You know, if it seems to be working for as long as it's been working, something tells me I'd like to mimic my organization, kind of like, I don't know, what the Cardinals have done over the last 100 years.
Exactly. Back to Major League Baseball on the field. The big dumper. He's taking a dump to start the season, Joe. Cal Raleigh, 15 Ks on the early season. What did you work on in spring training, Cal? What did you do in the offseason, Cal? He's always been a strikeout guy, but come on now, make some contact.
I got to tell you, those predictive market tickets I have, Donnie, on fading him on home runs, fading him on bat. I mean, it's so far so good. Early returns, pretty good on fading Cal Raleigh across the board here. Early yet, but not looking like the same Cal Raleigh from 6 months ago, is he?
Look, set your alarms, people. Why? The Minnesota Twins are telling you to do that here. It's the home opener. Not a lot of expectations for the Twins this year, but maybe come out on opening day and have some fun, no?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you just want, I mean, I'm sure you'll be disappointed by the breakfast as well as the season for the Twins, because it's not likely going to go very well for you. Although, nice win yesterday.
By the way, Joe, speaking of alarms here, don't sleep through your alarm here. How about this? Carter Jensen. We're expecting big things from the kid. Wake up, kid. Wake up.
Yeah, I mean,
cracks me up.
6-year-old catcher who's preparing to DH today, and then his world gets a little rocked that an hour and a half before the game, he's not going to be DHing. So, credit to Salvi today for being ready. First and foremost, we're glad Carter's okay, right? I mean, that was kind of the initial thought when you're trying to get a hold of his parents and everything like that, to just make sure everything's okay. But once you find out he's okay, it's like, all right, it's a growing moment. He's really young. There are some things that cannot happen, and that's one of them. So he's going to have to wear it on the chin, the same way anybody would have to. So it can't happen. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. But it's one of those things that you can't afford mistakes like that in this game. So just gotta move forward the best that he can. I know he feels really bad. I know that it was not his favorite drive to the field this morning, but it wasn't our favorite morning either. Trying to figure out what was going on. So, he'll learn from it and grow up a little bit. And we're here for him though. It's not like anybody's mad at him. Things happen, but you got to learn from mistakes like that and maybe get another alarm clock or something at home.
Joe, help me out with this here, because that was like a real somber locker room right there. It's like, hey, we had to call his parents. We were really concerned about him. Like, people do oversleep, but was this like he overslept for the night game, or nobody went to his house, or nobody just went to knock on his door and say, hey, you overslept a little bit? That sounded like they were scared to death that he did something to himself or maybe went missing. I must be missing some of the info here, no?
It feels like there's more to this story here, because that whole interview there and that looked. I don't know if there was something else going on. Were they mad at the game, and just asked them at the wrong time? Because it feels like there might be something else behind the scenes in that story.
Like people show up late to work at times. Car
Right.
trouble when he got there. Look, I honestly, my alarm didn't go off. I'm sorry, I'm here at this point. That made it look like either he was like 2 or 3 hours late,
Correct.
showed up and was like, "Hey, what happened? I don't know. What really like something had to go on that we
S-
don't know about. Otherwise, we're like, hey man, Rook missed his alarm. No big deal. He had to pay a fine. He'll be back with us tomorrow. No big deal." That sounded a little bit different here. You know what else sounds different? Coming back after the break, get more hot topics. Give the people what they want, Joe. It's a Friday night. We got baseball, we got hockey, we got basketball. Where do we go?
Well, I mean, let's face it here. I hate to do this, and I
Oh,
don't
no.
know what
Oh,
that graphic
no.
is.
I love where you're
but I'm
going.
gonna go with the New York Mets, not the Nets. The New York Mets tonight against the Giants. I just don't want the Mets to be confused with the
Oh,
Nets here, but
wow.
the New
So
York
good.
Mets tonight taking on the Giants. Listen. The New York Mets are batting 155 with runners in scoring position this year. They are 11 for 71 through the 7 games. They lost again last night because Chapman hits a ball down the line that barely hits the chalk, and that was how that game was blown open here. But listen, the Mets are far too talented of a lineup for this to continue. They got McLean on the mound here today. I'm not buying Tyler Mahle in any way, shape, or form. Yes, he had a good year last year, but I don't expect him to have the same kind of season this year. I think the Mets bats come alive in this game. They are not going to hit 155 forever with runners in scoring position. I like McLean to limit the Giants. I'll take the Mets at a pretty decent price at about minus 120.
Prediction Markets Edge on the early line, Joe. Let's keep the power on today on a good Friday, and that's our job. It's Sonny Rightside, and it's Joe Raineri, and away we go, Joe. A different way to take a look at some of these games to invest your money. How about that?
I am ready to go, Donnie. I think there's a lot of great opportunities on the board heading into this weekend, and a lot of Major League Baseball future
Yeah.
opportunities in the predictive markets.
How about we head right over to the Bronx and get a look at the Miami Marlins? Oh, that team stinks, taking on the Yankees. No, they don't. They've started off very well this season, and they're going to invade the Bronx today. But the New York Yankees currently trading, as they should be, as a favorite today, Joe. 60% chance to win this game on Kalshi, 40% to the Miami Marlins. If you're looking at some more options here, Joe, the Yerfies and the Nerfies also available, but those Yanks are the favorites. So if you invest $100 on the Yankees just to win this baseball game, it returns back $159, Joe.
It's interesting here because the Marlins have been much better than people thought they were going to be, although I think the schedule has worked into their favor, Donnie. We've talked about that. But this is, I think, a totally different ball game here. And Yuri Perez, great at Marlins Park last year, awful on the road, usually getting tattooed here. So, listen, Will Warren has had moments, but I don't necessarily trust him to limit this this young Marlins lineup that's done a pretty good job of scoring runs. Feels like this total is a little light, Donnie. I like the Yankees team total in this market, as well as the full game total up and over here as well.
See if we wake up. The MVP from last year was Aaron Judge. Not a great start to the season at 125, but back in his home ballpark. Slight wind blowing out to left field. We'll see if that makes a difference today. Let's head on up to Beantown. The San Diego Padres in town to take on the Boston Red Sox. Boston currently the favorite here, Joe, trading at a 53% chance to win this game. The underdog, San Diego Padres, at 47%. If you want to include the run line here, how about San Diego to win by 1.5 runs? Flip it over. That's 36 cents here. $100 investment pays back $278 for the Padres to win by 2. Big day in Boston. Padres versus the Red Sox.
Yeah, it has not been good. I mean, after that opening win, 3-0, they started the year off, and everyone thought things were gonna, it was gonna go well. But when Crochet can't bail you out against the Astros and stop the bleeding, now they got to go home, and they're going to need Sonny Gray to do it, and I don't trust that at all. Listen, Michael King is still working through some things after that injury from a year ago. Don't necessarily trust him here in this spot on the road in a hitter's ballpark. I think the over is in play here. I think Boston's going to be able to score some runs. I don't think either of these two pitchers are going to shut either lineup down. But both bullpens are pretty good, Donnie. So I would look at a first 5 over and a team total for the Red Sox up and over in the first 5 as well.
And also in these predictive markets, particularly with Kalshi here, you can get down the same way you can with sports books here. You think guys are going to hit home runs, you can take that. Hits, runs, and RBIs, you can take those as well. Fernando Tatis, Joe, if you think there's going to be runs scored today and he goes yard, it's currently trading at 17% here, which means a $100 investment pays back $589.